Life care or continuing care retirement communities are private residential campuses that provide options for residential living from independent through long-term nursing care. Nicole Muller with Westminster Communities is here to give us an overview. And Nicole, we were just chatting off camera. I can't think of a more kind of confusing subject because I want to say in the old days, everything was a nursing home. It was just a nursing home. Depending on what level of care, it had that kind of overview. But you're involved with a life care community. So what's the definition of that?
Yes, I agree. It can be very confusing, and today's communities are very different than the nursing homes we thought of from the past. Our life plan communities are also continuing care retirement communities. You may have heard that term.
Right.
They typically have a variety of different living levels. So you've mentioned independent living. That's just as if you were living in your own home, fully independent, active, but looking for that security for the future.
Sure.
Looking for things like housekeeping. I mean, who wants to do housekeeping?
Right. This may be one of those things like you want to sell the family home, you're retired, you go to an independent living situation.
Exactly. And it's more of a worry-free lifestyle. So meals are available if you choose, lovely restaurants and dining venues. So no more dishes if you don't want to, or you can have they all have full kitchens.
You don't have to mow the lawn.
You don't have to mow the lawn, take care of the pool, worry about the roof, all those things we worry about. But tons of activities and amenities to enjoy, and we really find it's the social aspect and why people make that choice.
So that's the independent level. So then we kind of progress to other situations.
Absolutely. So then you've heard about assisted living, and people very much get confused about assisted living.
Yes.
And what is that? That's when you need a little bit more support. So it's all of the same benefits as independent living, but perhaps you need medication reminders, or you need a little assistance with dressing if that's difficult, or just that extra supervision and support that's available to you 24/7. But it's not nursing. And that takes us to your question about what's nursing care.
Sure.
So that can be either on a short-term rehab basis. So maybe you're at home or you're in an independent living setting and there's a fall and you're injured, or you have a flu or something like that, and you need a short-term stay that just gets you back to your point one.
Yes. Now, let's talk about spouses. Do they have to stay in the same level, or could one spouse be at one level and the other at a different?
They can, and I think that's the beauty of a life plan community or a continuing care community, because the couple is making that choice to move into the community because they want to plan for their future. So if they're in an independent living home or apartment, and then something happens to one of the spouses, they then can stay in their home, and the spouse can receive that level of care that they need. And then they're a short walk or drive away, and they're still right there in the same community with all of the support.
Now, we always encourage folks to do their research. And so are these communities in any way regulated or licensed, or how do we know it's a safe community?
It's so important to do your research, and there's many reviews and star ratings on the internet that you can find. But all of the life plan communities in Florida are regulated by the Office of Insurance Regulation. Because when you're in a true life plan community with an entrance fee, that's sort of viewed as an insurance policy for your future care. So it's all regulated under what we call the OIR, the Office of Insurance Regulation.
And so speaking of that, can insurance plans kind of assist with some of the cost?
If someone has a long-term care insurance policy, they're very individualized, so it depends. But oftentimes they work very well with a life plan community, because once you need that level of support, the long-term care policy will support those fees, or part of those fees.
So that takes some of the worry
It
out
does.
of that. So, Nicole, this has been a wonderful summary of life care communities. Thanks so much for stopping in and clarifying this for us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.